Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Cancer energy. And like usual on this channel, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Cancer energy. The bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Cancer energy. We've all got our dualistic nature. And for some people, it could be that they're kind of battling within themselves. They might want to take action in their life a little differently, but we can struggle within ourselves because it could require us to speak the truth, take action in truth, be more bold and brave and confident. But there's going to be some people in the world that are moving forward in high vibe energy because they finished the debate within themselves. And there's going to be some people who aren't debating within themselves and they've decided to keep living their life the way they've been living it. We all are motivated and inspired to kind of grow, heal, or mature ourselves and look at life differently at different times. So, and for this round, we're going to use the Quantum Oracle deck, but I'm going to use it like a tarot deck and kind of see what story wants to come out with it. So we all tap into Cancer energy, listen to your own intuition about where you're at in the story, about hope and faith and belief and love, and where some other people in your life might be in their Cancer energy. Some people are more in love with the world or themselves. Love is optional. Don't want to do love. And some people harness their Cancer energy in a shadowy way, regardless of what zodiac sun sign they are. We all tap into the different traits and characteristics of the zodiac signs in a high vibe way, a more worldly way, or a more shadowy way. And shadowy can be people who, I don't know, live a life of illusion, use their emotions manipulatively just to get what they want. So, the reason for the high vibes reading is new supportive connections. So, let's go look at the top row. Maybe some of you want new supportive connections. Maybe you've come in contact with some people that kind of, new supportive connections. There's all sorts of things. It's kind of like life-giving energy represented by God is trying to get us to have hope and faith and belief in ourselves. And there's a lot of things that can motivate and inspire us. This does say people, but people do a lot of things. They write music, they make movies, they write books, and sometimes we watch or participate in those things, and that's how, through other people, we're inspired to have hope and faith and belief in our dreams. So we have deserving, family, deception, status quo. So, for some of the people that are debating within themselves, there could be a part of us that would like to live life differently. Maybe we are already with some of the people in our life. We could feel like they're stopping us, and that can be our own shadow nature. And we can have people in our life that kind of represent our shadowy nature. If our shadow nature is to be more kind of immature and impulsive, we might have some people that we hang out with that basically represent that energy within ourselves to want to entice us to keep living life doing the status quo, living life the way we've been living it. They could be people in our family. They could be people we view as family that we would like to be part of our life, all of our life going forward. So even friends, but we would consider them as family. So deserving, family, wanting to work together with others. I would view the deserving card as kind of like a Nine of Pentacles card, knowing your worth and value, wanting to work together with other people who are supportive and encouraging. But we have to overcome our own shadow nature. And it could also mean that we'd have to work through why we do align with certain people in our life that maybe aren't that supportive and encouraging. And why do we can be in relationships with people and maybe they're not on the same page as us. And we don't realize with the deception card, kind of like being a Seven of Swords card, we're kind of in two minds about it because we could have people in our life that we want to move forward with us, but we could not be seeing how they really don't want us to maybe heal and grow and mature ourselves and be our more authentic self and love and believe in ourselves, or hang out with other people in our life who are loving and encouraging and supportive. But we can, we have different people in our life, and it's like, am I willing to see how some of the people in my life that I might want to have in my life forever, but they're stopping me from, just like my own shadow nature does, they stop me from maybe living my more authentic life or being more bold and brave and confident. And we can have people in our life who encourage us to be in our fear and our insecurity and our more codependent nature, or to keep living life the way we've been doing it. Are we willing to see the truth of it? Let's go get some cards on what is the deception and the status quo about. The Two of Swords, because of the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups can reference to people that are in our life, and it could reference people in our family, people we've known from childhood. And the Two of Swords can be, we might not want to see the truth of certain people. We want to stay in denial of the truth that some people in our life, and it could be romantic partners too. We could be putting in work and effort to grow and heal and have a more deep, meaningful relationship with people, or a more just and fair relationship. And some of the people in our life, though, might be stuck. Because the Six of Cups can reference to these patterns, these ways of behaving in relationship. And sometimes we might have some shadowy ways of behaving in a relationship that we don't want to see the truth of, or the people we're in a relationship with do. Do people want to deal with the truth? Do people want to stay in denial of the truth? Do people want to repeat this old pattern? And then that can keep us stuck repeating an old pattern. Are we repeating an old pattern? Do we have a pattern of getting in relationships with people who don't treat us maybe in a just and fair manner, but that's a pattern of ours, and we keep being in relationship with people who are like that? Do we keep being in a relationship with people who are unwilling to make a decision? Well, I don't know if I really want to do life differently, but let's stay in the relationship. Let's keep repeating this old pattern. Let's keep doing the status quo. It's like, when is like the dream going to come into reality? When are we going to give birth to something new? When is it going to become more just and fair? When are people going to see the truth? And we could know people. There could be people in our life that we would like to have move forward with us, but they're not making a decision. They keep repeating an old pattern. And if we keep letting other people who aren't aligning with truth and love and justice and fairness, it blocks us. So we have to see the truth of it, because the truth sets us free to live our life differently. Listen to our intuition. There can be people in our life, the deception being like the Seven of Swords card, can be these people that we wanted to have a dream come into reality with. But we have to see the truth of it. If they're not taking action to work together with us cooperatively in truth and love and justice and fairness, then they're wanting to live life differently than we're living it. And some of those people aren't even in our life right now. They're working together with other people, and we can't, just because we would like them to see the truth, just because we would like them to reconcile themselves with the past, just because we would like them to know their worth and value and have hope and faith and belief in themselves. If they don't, they don't. And if we keep staying stuck, which is what the Two of Swords can be about, it's kind of keeping us stuck, and we're not going to be able to give birth to something new. So it's kind of getting in the energy of, you know what? Everybody is where they're at. If people were free to be more, to work with me, they would. But they can have things in their life that manipulate them. They could have people in their life, people they're in relationship with, people they're trying to encourage to move forward in this way, or they won't move forward in that way. And it's just to accept the truth that people are where they're at, and we wish them peace, love, and joy. We offer ourselves peace and love, to come to terms with it and just accept that people are where they're at. If they're not working with us to have new beginnings, then we're not on the same page. But if we don't want to keep staying stuck, we have hope and faith and belief in, things will work themselves out. In the meantime, we are going to do this work with the people in our life who are working with us cooperatively. We're going to listen to our intuition about the people that are in our life. If those people seem to be on the same page as us and working through their own fears and insecurities and past patterns to move forward with us in this way, then we keep moving forward with them in that way. And if there's people in our life who seem to not sure if they want to move forward in this way, we wish them peace while they work on that. And we're going to put work and effort with the people in our life who are willing to work together with us in that way. And we're going to keep moving forward. And some of the people in our life who we could view as loving people are going to stay where they're at until they work through whatever blockages they have that are stopping them from having new beginnings or working together with us in that way. But until they do, it's kind of, the Six of Cups can be about coming to peace with the past and where people are at. I just have to accept that everybody is where they're at. I want to manifest what I want to manifest. I can only work with the people in my life who are willing to work with me together in that energy in the present moment. So I am going to work with the people in my life that are willing to work with me in that way. I might be a little up in my head about some people who I know are kind of repeating maybe some poor past patterns, but I'm not going to let them keep me stuck with them. And we have to realize there's some people in the world that want us to be stuck, and they purposely could not be working with us because they want us to stay stuck. Maybe while they align with and indulge in or in relationship with whoever and however they're living their life. Well, that's an injustice. And we just have to see the truth of it. The people who are motivated and inspired to work together with us in a just and fair and authentic and loving way would. And if they're not, we're either assuming that they're in the type of relationships they want to be in with, and we're not seeing the truth, and we're keeping ourselves stuck because we're deceiving ourselves, or they're not on the same page and motivated and inspired by the things we are, and they could purposely not be being in relationship with us just to keep us stuck and confused. Why aren't they revealing the truth? You could look at new supportive connections. Something new would be like an ace of wands, an ace of pentacles, an ace of swords, an ace of cups. And they're not doing that. And it's can be stopping us from getting what we deserve in life. So let's not deceive ourselves. The people who are motivated and inspired to work together with us in this way would. And the people who aren't, they're either off in their own wonderful, loving relationships, and we wish them peace and love and joy, or they're not who we thought they were. And they're not on the same page as us. And we need to see through the illusion of it. And keep moving forward, not getting caught up in our head, not staying stuck, and to take our own new action in our life in a way that is moving forward what we want to manifest in our life. And as we do that, some other people who might want to be in a relationship with us, though, if they keep staying stuck in repeating these old patterns or doing the status quo or letting other people in their life keep them stuck or keep them in illusion or manipulate them, well, then they're going to stay there, and the high vibe people are going to keep moving forward and taking action in their life to manifest what they want to manifest in their life. So let's go look at the bottom row. The bottom row is professional assistance. Shadowy energy can be where we are in more codependent energy. And there could be for some people, they could still be struggling with being in more codependent energy. And that's why they could be repeating some patterns of the past or aligning with certain people in their life because they're codependent on those people. And there's a part of us that would rather not. We like the things that we've invested in to work. And so that's why it can keep us stuck, even if there's people in our life that we could be independent of and that are independent of us. And it can keep us stuck because we'd really still like that to work. But if everybody made their free will choice to become independent from each other, at that point in time, it kind of clarified that we weren't on the same page as each other. But there could be a part of us that still wants to manifest that because we would like it to work. Because if we can make what we had invested in work, then we don't have to go have a new beginning. It's kind of like, well, if I just went back to that job or that friend or that romantic relationship, then I don't have to do all this work within myself to work through my own fears and insecurities. And I could just do the status quo and I could just come back here and do this. But then we have these 4 cards that are upside down, which when things are upside down, it can mean extremes or that people reject those things. So let's go see what they are. We have fear, victim mentality, the honoring path, ascended masters. For one thing, our own shadow nature wants us to be codependent and fearful and afraid, live from our more defensive nature, live more from our pride and ego, go indulge in these things of the world to make ourselves feel better. But we wouldn't be facing our fears. We wouldn't be like growing to our full potential. And we could have been in relationships with people who are like that. Some of the people we could have been in a relationship with really have a victim mentality, and some of you don't. If we get into our victim mentality, we could keep living our life like this, but it's like, I'm going to face my fears. You kind of rejected this. You could have at one time in your life been in relationships with people manifesting more out of fear and victim mentality. And you thought this was the path. That this would make you happy. And again, it could have been being in more codependent energy where we look outside of ourselves for people to be the answer to love us. And then we get in those relationships, and we can get in relationships with people that were on the same page as us at that time. And we all can have some fears, some insecurities, some lessons to learn in life. And we get in relationships with people to find out, is this my truth? Are we on the same page? Can we work together cooperatively? Do we have hope and faith and belief and love? And if we do, then we move up here and we keep moving forward. And we both do this work within ourselves to work through our fears and insecurities and some poor past patterns and ways of viewing life to give birth to something new. But some of the people we did that with, and we are doing that with. But some people in our life, we could have gotten into friendships, workplaces, relationships with them. But then we could have realized that, while you were in it, maybe doing work within yourself to be more independent, which can be putting in work and effort to deal with some of your fears or insecurities or self-limiting beliefs. As you were in that relationship, you could have worked through some of your fears, some of your victim mentality, and kind of gotten out of your more worldly view of life and more codependent view of life to realize that, you know, I've kind of completed this phase of life. I thought living my life this way, viewing life this way, being in more codependent energy, making my life about these things or indulging in these certain things were the answer. And I realized they weren't. And I did heal, and I did know my worth and value. And kind of love is what unifies us, and we have all shadowy energy can be us being in more scattered energy, and love is what unifies us. And so you could have just gotten more balance within yourself. And then in high vibe, the Two of Swords being Libra energy represented by the scales of justice, you did get more balance within yourself. You worked through some of your issues from your past that had maybe caused you mental conflict and some fears and insecurities and victim mentality, made you align with your more worldly nature, egoic nature. Don't I have to wear this and look like this? And isn't this what makes me valuable? And you just freed yourself from all of those things. And then when you're ready to move forward in a relationship, some of the people in your life, they could have some of those same issues that you had, but they could reject dealing with any of those things because they're still sure that if they keep living life the way they've been living it and viewing life the way they've been living it, that they keep believing that is going to make them happy. And they might not look at life from any other perspective. Everybody can have their view of what like the dream relationship is. Some people want to be in a relationship maybe where people are always very loving and encouraging to them. I want to keep staying in denial of the truth that I should get balance within myself and love myself and work through my own fears and insecurities. I don't think that's my job. I get in relationships with people. That's their job. Their job is to make me feel more balanced and at peace within myself, and to make, like, to love me and nurture me and make me, so that's codependent energy. I'm looking to get in a relationship with someone so they make me feel this way. But they haven't done the work within themselves to free themselves from the things that, when they're not in a relationship, to feel more stable and grounded and balanced and loved just within themselves. Like getting out of codependent energy, like when we were a child, looking to parents to be a loving, nurturing, supportive environment for us. There's a point in time we're not children anymore, and we're supposed to learn how to be a good parent to ourselves, to all of our aspects of ourself, our inner child nature, our emotional nature, our hopeful, believing nature, our worldly nature, our creative, inspired nature, and our shadowy, petty, envious, jealous, immature nature. We are supposed to be a good parent to our own family of self. It isn't someone else's responsibility anymore. But for a long time, we can live our life still wanting other people to, giving them too much power and influence basically in our life, because shadow energy is also kind of represented by the devil, which can be these things that end up getting a hold on us because we've given them too much power in our life. Just like we can give drugs or alcohol or gambling or sex addictions, all those things too much power in our life because we think those things are the answer to us feeling stable and grounded and happy and loved. But it really starts within us. And if we haven't learned to love ourselves, we will get in these relationships because we have these lessons to learn for us to decide, is this my truth? Am I going to stay in this relationship? But in shadowy energy, it can be where I stay in a more codependent relationship. And then I'll probably be in relationship with other people who are codependent, or other people who are happy that I'm in codependent energy, because then they can manipulate and control me and abuse me because I haven't learned to love and believe in myself and know my own worth and value. And shadowy energy can be, why are we in a relationship? What are we trying to manifest? Is it not growing and maturing and healing ourselves? Okay, then what are we trying to manifest? It could be ego, image, status, money. Look, I'm in a relationship. Look how victorious and successful I am. Look how happy I am. But we're not more independent in the world. We're not maybe growing to our full potential. We're not maybe being more authentically ourselves, because shadow energy can represent that we're operating more from our defensive egoic nature, wanting to conform to the world, but we're operating more from our ego than doing the things and being in the careers and the relationships with people that really inspire us in truth and love to grow to our full potential. It can just be fear, extreme victim mentality, rejecting, becoming who you could have become, rejecting the higher path. We all have free will to make our life about ourself or the world or indulgence. Indulge our more immature, prideful, egotistical nature can be in the driver's seat of our life, or our more independent, loving nature can love all these different aspects of ourself, accepting that we have all these different aspects of self, and they're like all the kids of ourself, all the aspects of ourself that sit in the back seat of our life, and we comfort them and we offer them peace, love, joy, compassion, forgiveness for the mistakes they've made, and say, I want to work through my fears and my insecurities and my self-limiting beliefs. Shadowy Aquarius energy. I don't want to make my life about just indulging myself, being in relationships with people who indulge me, or me being in relationships where I'm indulging someone else just because I want these things of the world, or just because I want to be in a relationship, or because I don't want to make my life just about my ego and my image or my status or what I wear or what I drive. There's so much more to all of us than that. So how about we work through those fears and insecurities and more superficial ways of viewing life and the status quo? How about let's not, there's a Bible verse, don't conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Have some hope and faith and belief in your dreams, and work through your mental conflict about your want to conform to the world, because that's kind of the easier path. We don't have to learn to be a good mother, father, coach person to ourselves. We could indulge our more immature nature, our prideful nature, our lustful, impulsive, whatever nature. That's fine. You can live your life like that. We need all sorts of people in the world. We live in a world of duality. We see some people living their life like this. We see some people living their life like that. We see people living life all across the spectrum. Are we inspired to grow to our full potential? Do we want to love and believe in ourselves? Do we want to come to peace about the past? Do we want to heal from the past? We have to admit we made mistakes. We're going to make more mistakes. We have to be willing to get out of our ego nature to even admit that I have lessons to learn in life, that I've made mistakes, that life is, even if you want to choose to see that life is about learning lessons and growing and maturing. Some people get to a certain stage of life and they're like, I'm good. I have everything the world would say that I should want. I'm good. It's like, okay. They're not even motivated and inspired to maybe listen to their intuition. Why? The world tells me I'll be happy with this. I'm happy with this. I'm good. It's like different strokes for different folks. We get in relationships with people like that, and it's like, what about more? What about being creative and inspired and, I don't know, using our unique talent, skills, and gifts? Or maybe they're using theirs, but they don't want you to use yours, you know? Shadowy energy can be where we feel limited, oppressed, confined, imprisoned, restricted. Sometimes we get in relationships with people who are like, you should make your life about my life. You should be codependent on me. Maybe I have manifested some of these things of the world. And then you should make your life about me. And, or something like that. I'm sure you get the idea. You know, and there's never going to be anything new. Shadowy energy is like dead energy also. We live our life at a certain phase of life, and then we're supposed to face, I think, our fears and insecurities if we want to be in life-giving energy to grow to our full potential. We shed some of our old layers of ways of being, our more immature ways of acting, our more immature ways of viewing life, our more immature way of behaving to grow to our full potential. High vibe energy is being enlightened to the truth that love is what makes it all worthwhile. Some people think the things of the world is what makes it all worthwhile. Or if it's just all about them, then that's what makes it worthwhile. I don't care about your wishes, your dreams. I don't even care if you're happy. You just stay in the relationship because this is what works for me. You know? Love is supposed to be about treating other people the way you like to be treated. Being just, being fair, acting with character and integrity. Continuing to grow and mature yourself to your full potential. And some people are like, no, I don't want to do that. It's like, and we see the truth of it. And it can keep us stuck for a really long time. Because we really want it to work out the way we want. We really would like those people to keep moving forward with us in this way. But if we see the truth that they're kind of stuck, you know, everybody's got to make the free will choice to free themselves from the things that manipulate them. Is it their fear? Is it their insecurity? Is it their victim mentality? Is it poor, poor, pitiful me? Is it should be more about me? People should indulge me. You know, people have learned different lessons about how to treat other people in a relationship. And if we see that people are repeating some poor past patterns, or they haven't freed themselves from some of the things that you freed themselves, yourself from, yeah, they might want to be in a relationship and stay in a relationship with you too, but they have something that manipulates them. And it could be picking a path. Some people don't want to pick a path. I want to juggle. I want to present myself as a loving person. I want to be in relationships with people who are loving, but I don't quite want to really be that. I like to present myself as that, but I'm kind of more aligned with my defensive or worldly or egoic nature. And that's how I've always planned to live my life. And then we see the truth of it. They really haven't. Either they picked making it about the world or themselves or ego or indulgence, and they have picked their path. And we realize they haven't seen the truth yet, and they have some more life lessons learned. And I don't think when we keep refusing to heal or grow or mature ourselves, and we keep repeating an old pattern, I don't think it's going to work out the way we think. And some people have already learned that, and they're living their life differently. I've learned the lessons I was meant to learn from that life experience. It started to become stagnant, stale, old. I was getting up in my fear and my insecurities and my self-limiting beliefs, and I don't like to stay in that energy. So I did this work within myself, maybe got myself some professional help, to love and believe in myself and face my fears so I could have these new beginnings. And there's other people that's not how they want to live their life, and other people just aren't there yet. So we just accept that people are where they're at. What's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Cancer energy that they might not see coming up? Well, eventually we get to the place of coming to peace about it. And we wish them peace, love, and joy. I can't make other people be more independent from what manipulates them. I can't make people have hope and faith and belief in love, or I can offer people love and encouragement to try to inspire them to love and believe in themselves and look at life from a higher perspective. But if they're caught up in the illusion of the world or themselves, or sure, this way of living life is the way to go, it's kind of like with parents with children. We already know some of the pitfalls, but, we've got to let people live their own life. And some of these people are your children. Some of them could be people who you kind of view as childish. And they got a lot of life lessons to learn that you already learned. And we wish them peace. And we take the lesson that we've learned to be a student of life. I have that, the pages can represent, I have that hopeful, believing spirit. And I have hope and faith and belief and love. And I'm willing to get out of my pride and my ego and my fear and my insecurity to keep healing and growing and maturing myself. Do you want to come with in this way? And I think the high vibe people are offering people love. They're not being pushy. They're not being controlling. It's just an energy of truth and love. This is the truth that I've learned, and I'm taking that truth to move forward with me. In love, do you want to come with me? And some people will and some people won't. And we need to accept the truth of that. And we invest our time, energy, and effort into the people who are willing to work with us in the present moment to bring that into reality. And if they're not, we wish them peace. What's coming, and then I think as you're doing that, as you move forward, there's going to be other people that are on the same page as you, that see that you are independent, that you are a loving, encouraging person to yourself, to maintain balance within yourself, that you have worked through, not taking action out of fear and insecurity or pride or ego, or trying to manipulate people or confuse people, not wanting to be in a codependent relationship. And they see that you have reconciled yourself with the past and you are ready to have a new beginning. And there's going to be people in the world that are going to want to be in a relationship with you because they've also had to become independent of people in their life that weren't on the same page as them. And they want to move forward in this way. And as you make offers and meet other people, and as other people make gestures of love to you, you and the other high vibe people that you might meet, and people that might make offers to you in high vibe energy, you're going to listen to your intuition about the people who want to work together with you. What drives and motivates you? Are you still you got some idea about what it means to be in a relationship? You're still caught up in the illusion of the world or yourself or your ego, and you want to do the status quo. Sorry, I've been there and done that. I want to be in relationships with people who have that hopeful, believing spirit, not in their defensive, egoic nature, letting their inner children, their hopeful, believing nature out to play in the world. Let's give birth to something new. We're not following a template, a playbook. We're letting love and intuition guide us in what we manifest. And you're going to listen to your intuition about who's who. And the people who seem like, what? Like, I thought we'd do a relationship like this. It would look good. We look like shining stars, It looks like we got what other people want. It's like, yeah, you're going to have to go find someone else. I'm moving on. And it's like, and they could be loving people too, but it's like they just are still kind of caught up in the illusion a little bit of the world and ego and, I just want to be in a relationship, or, blah, blah. It's like, no. What's coming up for people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Cancer energy that they might not see coming up? The Seven of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Tower, and the Lovers. And the reason that came out is because of the Knight of Cups. Well, for some of the people who, If you're in high vibe energy, you're being truthful and honest and treating other people the way you like to be treated and acting with character and integrity. We can all get in relationships because we all got some lessons to learn in that, and we're kind of learning from each other. But if some people are over time, other people in the relationship have kind of grown and matured themselves and healed, and they're ready to move forward in life differently, and some of the other people are still not dealing with some of those issues. Maybe shadowy energy can be trying to manipulate people, trying to control people, like you need me. You can't manifest your dreams without me. You need to be in codependent energy with me. You don't love and believe in yourself. You won't be bold and brave enough to go have a new beginning. I'm sure I can keep doing the same old pattern of whatever way I'm being, bossy, controlling, manipulative, prideful, egotistical, codependent, not putting in work and effort into dealing with my own issues. Some of those people were surprised because some of the people have already left them and moved on. Some people are just in it right now. And the people they're in a relationship with are offering them love, maybe for the last time. In the Seven of Swords energy here, are you willing to be more authentic, warm, and loving, and hopeful, and believing in this relationship? To look at life from a higher perspective, have some hope and faith and belief and love. To listen to your intuition, to be willing to get out of your ego and be willing to admit that maybe you had some healing or growing or maturing or lessons to learn in life also. And are you willing to take this inspired action to let go of this illusion and some idea you could have had about what it meant to be in a loving relationship, because it's not working for me? Because some people, shadowy Knight of Cups, can be people who are kind of emotionally immature, have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. Can't we move forward in a relationship? You be loving, and I want to live more from my mind than my heart, more from my ego, more about the world, bossy, controlling, and I don't want to do love. And they keep thinking people are going to keep moving forward with them. They harness these energies in a shadowy way, and the other people are harnessing it in a more high vibe way. And the high vibe people want to detach from this old way of being to make it about love. It's a free will choice. And if some of those people do that, then they'll both come up here and they'll start working on that together. If they're not, some of these people are going to leave these people's life. That's the Tower card. It's like, I have been offering love and encouragement, being patient, trying to manifest this into reality, but eventually I can't stay in denial of the truth anymore. I can't keep deluding myself and staying in denial. You keep repeating these old patterns, and that isn't how I want to live my life. That might be how you want to live your life, and I see the truth of it. If you are motivated and inspired by love and hope and faith and belief, you'd maybe do things differently. But apparently you don't. And that isn't the truth of your foundation. And you might not want to see the truth of it. And you might have some growing and maturing to do. And you might be kind of egotistical or prideful or materialistic or bossy or controlling. And I can no longer stay in denial of it. Or you want to make your life all about these things of the world because that's what drives and motivates you. And that's the most important thing. And that's not the most important thing in my life. I want those things. But I also want to be in loving, nurturing, authentic, warm relationships. And some of those people are going to detach and make offers to love and believe in themselves. And then when they've worked through the mental confusion of it and have healed from it and come to a place of peace about it, that's when they're going to go have their new beginning. And they're going to reach out to people in their life, make apologies to people they need to make apologies to. You know, when I was living my life like this, I had some lessons learned and I didn't realize it. And that's what high vibe people do. I'm not in my ego anymore. I learned some valuable lessons. I could have pushed away some loving, encouraging people in my life. And I want to apologize. And I want to tell you the lessons that I've learned and how I was deceived and manipulated by my own fears, my own insecurities, my own past pain and heartbreak. And now I'm ready to have this new beginning. Do you want to move forward with me in this way or not? And then people have to wonder, you know, if you're the person that people approach and as you approach other people, if those are people from your past and you are someone from someone else's past, everybody wondering, are these people telling the truth? Have they really healed and grown and matured, or haven't they? Where did I need to heal and grow and mature? Where did they need to heal and grow and mature? Are the people I'm currently with being truthful and honest and loving and encouraging, or am I moving forward with some people who are immature, who are tempting me with things of the world? You know? Sometimes when high vibe people apologize to other people, it makes those people question how they've been living their life. They could be loving, nurturing people, but are they seeing the truth about the people they're in relationship with? The only thing is, or aligning with, high vibe people are moving forward, reaching out to people, having new beginnings, seeing who wants to move forward with them in that way. And odds are some of the shadowy people, you know, are going to keep being the shadowy people in relationships. They can get in relationships with people who have their own fears and insecurities. Those people work through those things. They want the relationship to go to the next level, but the other people aren't willing to detach from some way of viewing life or some habits or some patterns or something, and they're unwilling to invest in love. And some people don't want to invest in love. I get hurt doing love. I would have to know my worth and value, and I'd have to love and believe in myself to believe I could pick myself back up again. And I got a lot of fears and insecurities that stop me from doing that. So, you know, they're probably going to keep living life the way they do it, staying in denial of the truth. If they're immature, if they're prideful, if they're materialistic, if they're bossy, if they're controlling, if they're manipulative, they might not want to see the truth of any of that. So another thing they don't see coming, you know, there's always going to be other people who come along that have lessons learned from people like this. It's just that they might end up, because they're not willing to grow up or mature themselves or expand their perception of how they view relationships. I think it should be more about me. They might end up in a relationship with someone who's like themselves because they keep being unwilling to move forward with the loving, nurturing people in their life. And they might have other people who come in their life who it's like, hey, you seem to have status and image and power and influence or something, or you're attractive. Hey, you know, I want to be in a relationship with you. And they could move forward in a relationship, and someone wants to be in a relationship with them, but it's not because of love. And it's kind of like they manifested what they aligned with. You know, and we can all be at this stage of life at some point in time. It's kind of like being 15-year-olds and learning to be an 18-year-old. And some people are like, no, no, no. I want to keep living like a 15-year-old. I don't want to become an 18-year-old. And the people who are willing to grow up and mature themselves move on to the next phase of life. There's always other people in the world that kind of are on the same stage of life as some of these people. But the only people who might keep staying in a relationship with them, wanting to keep manifesting with them, could be other people who are codependent, haven't learned to love themselves, and they're kind of moving forward in a relationship, and I think they're going to learn some valuable lessons in it. It's really, you know, every relationship does challenge us, but this one might really challenge them maybe to see the truth of their own foundation. Because maybe getting in a relationship with someone who's like themselves And maybe they've never been in a relationship with someone like themselves. They could be deceptive, use their emotions manipulatively, use whatever assets, traits, characteristics they have in the world to tempt people to stay in a relationship. Well, they might be get in a relationship with someone who's just like that and who has some of those things too, who presents himself as loving but really also is more about themselves. And if they want to keep moving forward in the relationship because they've been in relationships with people who wanted them to heal and grow and mature themselves, and they keep choosing not to do that, well, maybe they'll settle for the illusion, which is what Knight of Cups Pisces energy can talk about. Doesn't mean people are dealing with a Pisces sun sign. They're just dealing with people who in their Pisces energy, I'm willing to stay in a relationship because the illusion can refer to my fears, my insecurities, my pride, my ego, my immature nature. If I found someone who's willing to stay in a relationship with me, well then, and they don't require me to heal or grow or mature myself, perfect. And we both might be caught up in the illusions of the world, and we both might be more about ego and image and money, perfect. It's just the truth of the foundation isn't love. It's the illusion that look at all what we have. We have what other people have, but they just have a version of that, maybe a more immature version. We all know people that are in quite some immature relationships, right? And that's just where they're at. Or it's just trying to create the illusion that they have manifested this new beginning, that they've healed, they've grown, they've changed, they've matured, but they're the exact same person they were in the last relationship, and they'll probably be that exact same person in this relationship. But if both people aren't willing to work through their own fears and insecurities to detach from each other because they're willing to settle for the illusion, they'll stay in it. And you might know some people that are doing that very thing. Because you might know they got some lessons to learn in life. And I think they're going to learn some hard lessons. So, there you go, Cancer energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.